Welcome, beautiful damsels. The fiercest battles are fought in silence, not with words or weapons, but with resilience that cannot be broken. In a world where power dynamics often favor the loudest voices, there exists a rare breed who thrive in quiet strength, the Sigma female. She doesn't follow the rules of engagement. Instead, she dismantles them. When you think you've hurt her, you've done nothing but fuel her rise. The truth is, 92% of human behavior is driven by social conditioning, but not hers. She's immune to it, and that makes her dangerous in ways you can't even fathom. If you ever try to cross a Sigma female, brace yourself, because it will backfire in ways you never saw coming. Number 1. She learns from every betrayal. When someone betrays a Sigma female, they've made a critical mistake. They've given her a lesson she'll never forget, and one that will only make her stronger. Instead of being consumed by the betrayal, she dissects it, processes it, and then moves on with a sharper understanding of people and the world around her. She doesn't dwell in self-pity or anger because she knows those emotions are traps, keeping most people stuck in their pain. She's not about to be stuck anywhere. What sets her apart is how she takes that pain and turns it into knowledge. While others are busy licking their wounds, the Sigma female is using the experience to reshape her life. She studies the betrayal not as a victim but as an analyst. What went wrong, who showed their true colors, and what weaknesses in her own circle she needs to address. But most importantly, she learns more about herself. Each betrayal exposes her to deeper layers of her own strength. She understands her capacity to heal, to move on, and to thrive without the need for apologies or reconciliation. This kind of transformation is rare. Most people let betrayal break them. It ruins their trust in others and makes them bitter. But for a Sigma female, it's fuel. She doesn't just survive, she thrives in spite of and because of the attempt to harm her. And when she rises again, she's harder to hurt, harder to fool, and far more in tune with who truly deserves her energy. Betray her once, and you'll realize too late that you've given her exactly what she needed to elevate herself. And nothing you do can take that away. Number 2, emotionally unreadable. A Sigma female is a master at controlling her emotions, and that's what makes her so difficult to read. You might think you've hurt her or gotten under her skin, but you'll never see it. She doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve or give you the satisfaction of knowing you've affected her. Most people are easy to read. When they're upset, it shows. Their body language changes, their words become sharp, or they retreat into silence. But with a Sigma female, none of that applies. She has learned how to internalize her emotions without letting them show on the surface. This doesn't mean she doesn't feel anything. She's human after all, but she has a way of processing those feelings that doesn't require anyone else's involvement. Her strength comes from the fact that her emotional world is her own, and she doesn't need to broadcast it for validation or sympathy. When you try to push her buttons, you'll be left guessing whether you've succeeded because she gives no visible reaction. You won't know if she's hurt, angry, or indifferent, and that uncertainty will frustrate you more than any emotional outburst ever could. This emotional unreadability gives her a powerful edge. In a world where people are often manipulated by their feelings, she remains untouchable. Her cool detachment isn't a defense mechanism, it's a choice. She knows that staying in control of her emotions keeps her in control of every situation. While others might lash out or break down when hurt, she watches quietly, calculating her next move. It's not that she's heartless. She simply refuses to let anyone see when or how she's vulnerable. And in that silence, in that blank, unreadable face, lies a strength most people will never be able to crack. Number 3, revenge is beneath her. If you're expecting a Sigma female to retaliate after you've wronged her, you're in for a surprise. Revenge isn't in her nature, not because she's too soft to get back at you, but because it's beneath her. She doesn't waste her time plotting ways to even the score. In fact, her form of revenge is entirely different. Rather than engaging in petty games, she channels her energy into something much more powerful, her own growth. When you cross her, she doesn't spiral into anger or obsess over how to hurt you back. Instead, she focuses on leveling up in ways you won't even see coming. While you're expecting a confrontation, she's busy enhancing her life. whether that's advancing her career, deepening her knowledge, or strengthening her personal boundaries. She thrives on self-improvement, and every attempt to harm her becomes just another reason for her to get better. It's not about you, it's about her never letting anyone have control over her trajectory. Her refusal to seek revenge isn't about letting you off the hook either. It's about choosing not to stoop to your level. A Sigma female understands that revenge is a temporary fix, an emotional high that quickly fades, leaving you right where you started. She's more interested in building a life so far removed from your drama that you'll eventually become irrelevant. You'll watch as she rises, seemingly unaffected by whatever damage you thought you could do. This is her power. She doesn't need to bring you down to lift herself up. In fact, by choosing not to engage, she shows that you're not even worth her time. And in the end, that's the ultimate defeat. You're left trying to get a reaction while she's too busy thriving to even notice. Number 4, she transforms pain into art or success. When a Sigma female faces pain, she doesn't crumble or let it consume her. Instead, she turns it into something productive, something meaningful. Whether it's heartbreak, betrayal, or any form of emotional hurt, she uses it as fuel to drive her forward. While most people are trapped in the cycle of reliving their pain or looking for ways to numb it, she is already transforming it into something better. She might channel that energy into her work, create art from it, or use it to push herself to new heights. Pain isn't a stopping point for her, it's a tool. Her ability to take pain and turn it into success or creativity sets her apart. Most people let their suffering define them, but a Sigma female refuses to be defined by anything outside of herself. Pain is just another experience, not a permanent state. She understands that every painful moment carries with it a lesson or an opportunity for growth, and she is determined to extract that, no matter how difficult the process might be. This is what makes her so formidable. She doesn't just survive. She thrives on the challenges that life throws her way. Even in her darkest moments, she's thinking about how she can use this experience to sharpen her mind or strengthen her resolve. You won't see her wallowing or seeking pity because she's too busy creating something out of the ashes. This might mean building a new career, finding new passions, or even using her experiences to help others. Her pain becomes the foundation for her next victory, and she doesn't let it go to waste. In the end, every attempt to hurt her only leads to her becoming stronger, smarter, and more determined. Pain doesn't break her, it builds her. Number 5, intuition that outsmarts you. A Sigma female has a gift that most people don't fully appreciate, a deep, almost uncanny intuition. She can sense things long before they happen, often reading people and situations with a clarity that leaves others scrambling to catch up. You might think you're being subtle or clever in your attempts to hurt her, but she's already seen through it. Her intuition isn't just a vague feeling, it's a finely tuned radar that picks up on the slightest shifts in behavior, energy, and intention. And she trusts it completely. This makes her nearly impossible to outmaneuver. While others rely on surface-level signals or obvious cues, she's picking up on the subtext, the things left unsaid. You might not even realize that you've exposed your hand, but she's already analyzing the situation and preparing herself. It's not magic, it's her ability to observe human behavior with precision. She knows when something feels off, and she adjusts accordingly, often long before you make your move. The most frustrating part? She won't let on that she's figured you out. A Sigma female plays the long game. While you're trying to manipulate or deceive her, she's quietly watching, gathering information, and preparing her next step. By the time you think you've gained the upper hand, she's already 3 moves ahead, leaving you wondering how your plan fell apart so quickly. Her intuition gives her a kind of psychological armor. It protects her from being blindsided and ensures that she's always one step ahead of those who think they can take advantage of her. You might think you've outsmarted her, but in reality, she saw it coming the whole time. You were just another predictable piece in a much larger puzzle that she's already solved. Number 6. She knows your weaknesses, but won't use them. The Sigma female is a master of observation, and nothing escapes her notice. She sees people for who they truly are, including their flaws and vulnerabilities. She knows exactly what your weaknesses are, whether it's an insecurity you try to hide or a pattern in your behavior that gives you away. But here's the twist. She doesn't use that knowledge against you. Not because she can't, but because she chooses not to. That's the kind of power she wields, knowing she could hurt you if she wanted to, but deciding it's not worth her time or energy. It's this self-restraint that makes her so formidable. Most people, when they learn something about someone that could be used as leverage, are tempted to exploit it. But the Sigma female operates on a different level. She's not interested in petty power plays or manipulation. Her strength comes from within, and she doesn't need to bring others down to feel in control. She knows that stooping to that level would only entangle her in the same messy, emotional games she despises. Her decision not to act on your weaknesses doesn't mean she's indifferent or naive. In fact, it's a sign of her true confidence and inner calm. She could tear you down with a single word or gesture if she wanted to, but she values her peace more than the temporary satisfaction of winning a cheap battle. This doesn't mean she's going to tolerate disrespect or betrayal. If pushed too far, she won't hesitate to walk away, silently, decisively, and with all the dignity and tact that most people lose when they engage in personal attacks. Her greatest power lies in knowing what she's capable of, but refusing to waste it on people who aren't worth the effort. Number 7. She holds power over herself. The Sigma female holds a unique kind of power, the kind that comes from being completely in control of herself. She doesn't need to manipulate others, assert dominance, or seek external validation to feel powerful. Her strength lies in mastering her own mind, emotions, and actions. While most people are busy trying to control the world around them, she focuses on the one thing she knows she can control, herself. This level of self-mastery makes her nearly untouchable because no one can sway her, manipulate her, or provoke her into acting out of character. When you try to hurt a Sigma female, what you're really doing is testing her self-control. But that's a test she's been passing her entire life. She doesn't react impulsively or emotionally. In fact, she's mastered the art of detachment. It's not that she's cold or unfeeling. She simply understands that no one can take away her peace unless she allows it. Her emotions are her own, and she's learned how to separate them from the actions of others. This doesn't mean she doesn't feel pain or disappointment. She just doesn't let those feelings dictate her behavior or choices. This control gives her a profound sense of freedom. She isn't a puppet to anyone's whims or manipulations. While others might get caught up in emotional battles or power struggles, she remains centered, making decisions based on logic and self-respect rather than fleeting emotions. She doesn't seek revenge, approval, or even understanding from others because she's already in command of the most important thing, herself. This makes her incredibly difficult to break. You can try to undermine her, but she won't falter. Her power isn't in controlling others, it's in mastering herself. And that's a power few people ever achieve. Number 8. She's seen worse. A Sigma female has been through more than most people realize. Life has tested her in ways that would break others, but she's learned to weather the storm. So when someone tries to hurt her, thinking they've found a weak spot, they're mistaken. She's already faced far greater challenges, betrayals, losses, struggles, and survived them all. What they don't understand is that she's built herself from those experiences. The pain she's endured has shaped her into someone far tougher than they can imagine. What feels like a devastating blow to others is just another test of endurance for her. This isn't to say she's immune to pain or doesn't feel deeply. She does, but she processes it differently. She knows that pain is temporary and that nothing lasts forever, not the good times and certainly not the bad ones. So when someone tries to hurt her, it doesn't take long for her to gain perspective. She understands that whatever they're throwing at her is just another bump in the road, one she's more than equipped to handle. She's not easily shaken because she's seen it all before. Her resilience doesn't come from arrogance or pretending that she's invincible. It comes from lived experience. She knows what it's like to be knocked down, but she also knows how to get back up. Every difficult moment she's faced has taught her something new about herself, how strong she is, how resourceful she can be, and how little she truly needs from others to survive and thrive. That's why attempts to hurt her often fall flat. She's been through worse, and she's still here, stronger than ever. What's one more challenge to someone who's already conquered so much? By the time the dust settles, she'll be standing tall, untouched by whatever was meant to break her. Number 9, she doesn't seek closure, she creates it. For a Sigma female, closure isn't something she seeks from others. It's something she creates for herself. In a world where people often wait for apologies, explanations, or some kind of validation to heal, she has learned that true power lies in self-sufficiency. When someone hurts her, she doesn't linger in the aftermath, looking for someone to make things right. Instead, she takes the reins of her healing process, crafting her own closure without needing permission or input from anyone else. This is what sets her apart from the crowd. While others might dwell on their pain, replaying the hurtful moments over and over, she has a unique ability to step back and view the situation from a broader perspective. She recognizes that dwelling on the past only holds her back. It's not about forgetting. It's about understanding that what's done is done. She analyzes her experiences, draws lessons from them, and moves forward with renewed strength. When she decides it's time to heal, she takes action. This might mean cutting ties with toxic people, focusing on self-care, or pouring her energy into passions that uplift her spirit. She doesn't wait for someone to change or for circumstances to shift. Instead, she becomes her own catalyst for change. This autonomy in her healing process gives her a sense of control that many people struggle to find. By the time you think she needs closure, she's already closed that chapter of her life and moved on to write a new one. You may be stuck wondering how to fix things, but she's too busy creating a life that reflects her growth and resilience. She doesn't let others dictate her narrative. She authors it herself, ensuring that every experience, good or bad, becomes a stepping stone toward her greater self. In her world, closure is a personal journey, not a destination, and that makes her unstoppable. Number 10, incredible emotional control. A Sigma female possesses incredible emotional control, a skill that sets her apart from the crowd. While most people react impulsively to hurtful situations, she maintains a calm demeanor that often leaves others perplexed. You might throw your worst at her, criticism, betrayal, or deceit, but she doesn't allow those actions to dictate her emotional state. Instead, she takes a step back, observing the situation with clarity and composure. This emotional control is not a facade or a sign of weakness. It's a powerful tool. She understands that emotions can cloud judgment, and she refuses to let anyone else dictate how she feels. When faced with adversity, she processes her emotions internally rather than reacting in the heat of the moment. This allows her to think strategically about her next steps rather than getting caught up in anger or frustration. While others might lash out, she weighs her options, choosing her response carefully. Her ability to remain calm under pressure often confuses those who expect a more traditional emotional reaction. You might think you've succeeded in hurting her, only to realize that she's already moved on emotionally. This doesn't mean she's indifferent. Rather, she's practiced in managing her feelings in a way that preserves her inner peace. This mastery of emotional control gives her a profound sense of freedom. She doesn't waste energy on grudges or feelings of inadequacy because she understands that her worth isn't defined by how others treat her. Instead, she channels her energy into personal growth and self-improvement. By refusing to react emotionally, she remains the architect of her own life, forging a path that aligns with her values and goals. In a world full of emotional turmoil, her steadiness is a rare quality that commands respect. While others may seek to harm her, they quickly learn that they are only hitting a wall of resilience. Her emotional control is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. And that makes her a force to be reckoned with. In a world where emotional volatility and manipulation often reign, the Sigma female stands as a beacon of strength and resilience. Her incredible emotional control, unmatched self-awareness, and steadfast boundaries allow her to navigate life's challenges with grace and dignity. When faced with attempts to hurt her, she doesn't respond in kind. Instead, she transforms pain into growth, drawing from her deep well of experiences to fuel her evolution. Her ability to remain calm in the face of adversity makes her a formidable opponent. While others may react impulsively, she takes the time to process, analyze, and strategize, ensuring that her responses are deliberate and powerful. Each challenge only reinforces her conviction in her own worth, as she understands that the opinions of others do not define her. Moreover, her keen intuition enables her to see through deceit and manipulation, allowing her to protect herself from those who underestimate her. In her world, closure is not sought from external sources. She creates it for herself, choosing to move forward rather than dwell on negativity. Each boundary she sets is a testament to her self-respect, ensuring that her energy is reserved for relationships and endeavors that uplift her spirit. Ultimately, the Sigma female embodies the principle that true power comes from within. She is not just a survivor of life's trials, she is a thriver who uses her experiences to forge a path of strength and independence. Attempts to hurt her will only backfire, leaving those who challenge her bewildered and empty-handed. In her quiet strength lies a profound truth. The more you try to undermine her, the more she rises, unscathed and resolute, ready to take on whatever comes next. If you found this exploration of the Sigma female's strength and resilience intriguing, subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. Join our community to dive deeper into personal growth and uncover the extraordinary aspects of human behavior. Your support fuels our passion and ensures you stay connected to this enlightening journey. Hit that subscribe button now and let's thrive together. Thanks, damsels, for tuning in. See you in the next vid. Bye and stay blessed.